Craig Sullivan, it's another Friday. Somehow I managed to survive the past weekend. How you doing, brother?
I'm great. Exhausted, but great.
Yep. I hope you're not too exhausted to remember what time it is, because I sure as hell can't.
Hey, it is 11 a.m. in the Aloha State. It's 2 p.m. in the Golden State.
That's right.
It's 5 p.m. in the Empire State, and
That's right.
It's time for an audit.
Yes. Hey everybody, Glenn Hausman here for the one and only Friday Night Audit. Of course, that is the incredible Craig Sullivan. You're watching, of course, Friday Night Audit, the only show in the hospitality industry makes you wish you went into pest control instead. I guess it's kind of the same thing, depending on your point of view, isn't it, Craig?
Yeah, depending, yes.
So it's so great to see you. How are you doing, my friend?
It's good to see you too. It's you're back, you're home. You had an outstanding time up in Atlantic City, and
how would you know, Craig? You weren't even there.
My spies were there. My spies were there. And hey, where's David?
I left.
Why would you ask him to come on?
You didn't leave any bruises on Glenn when you implanted this, right? Or did you?
I was very, very stealth.
Okay.
I was actually more stealth getting it into Glenn than my wife has been, as we talked about last week, getting it into her wallet.
Well, to be fair, Dave hit it in a joint, so I just,
we start playing Where's Glenn?
It wasn't hard. It wasn't hard.
Know where you're at all times.
Yeah. So last week was great. We had a great time. Thanks to everybody at the Showboat Atlantic City for having a good time. Now, Craig, a lot of things went down this past weekend. We'll get into sharing a little bit about those shows and stuff like that. But one of the coolest things was they had this amazing indoor go-kart track over there, and Dave and I kind of went head to head. Isn't that right, Dave?
Oh, we did. It was the battle, Long Island versus Westchester / North Jersey. For those who don't know about the tri-state area, it's Connecticut, North Jersey, and obviously New York State.
Yep.
There's always a battle. Who are the better drivers? North Jersey, Westchester, Connecticut, or Long Island? Nobody actually talks about people that are in the city because they don't drive. And being as I was born and raised in Westchester, I've lived in North Jersey now for a large portion of my life. I repped both sides of the coin, so we had to see who would win. Long Island Glenn, Champion Day Dave. My name probably gives it away. I probably should have thought about that.
Well, we got a video. We got a video that we're going to show you in a couple of minutes. But our guest is missing for some reason. We don't know where our guest is. So
it's very simple. He realized that I am the Champion Day Dave. He can't compete with me, so he decided not to show up.
Well, I don't know. All right. So Dave, we're going to put you in the back, and we're going to pretend you're the guest. So Craig, who's our guest today?
The one, the only. Champion David, the GM producer extraordinaire.
Hey guys, it's so good to see you. I am so happy to be here on Friday Night Audit to make your day.
Yeah, we're so glad you're here making our day. You having a drink here, Dave?
Yeah.
Even though you're working. Wait, can't do it. Don't show it yet. That's right. It's cocktail time. What are you drinking there, Dave? Are you drinking New York water or bottled water, or maybe?
No,
tea?
I have it fresh out of the tap of the filtration from my gym. It's this high quality thing called water. I know you guys aren't too familiar with that on this show.
Well, there's water in this, right?
some level of percent, yes.
Right.
But when you want to be a champion, this is what you take too. So.
Well, we'll see. And Craig, what are you drinking tonight?
I am drinking a Corona Light.
All right, hold on. Breaking news. Dave.
I can't be the guest anymore.
You've been fired. Chris Jordan!
What is going on, everybody?
It's so great to see you, man.
Same here. I haven't seen you guys since our last event.
You're not too loud, Bruce. You're just too late.
Yeah.
I got called out here to one of the properties that I manage at the last minute. It's just some staffing issues, and
Yep.
and now I and I realized I'm in a different time zone. I'm like, hold on, it's not that time yet, and then I'm like, hold on, it is time. I'm an hour behind.
Well, that's good. Now, Bruce, before we get into talking all about you, Champion Day, Dave and I we were talking about this race that we took. It was a go-kart race over at the Showboat Atlantic City last weekend because we were down there for some concerts and stuff. So the video went something like this.
So here at the Lucky Snake Racetrack, where Glenn and I are going to go head-to-head to see which is better, Westchester / North Jersey versus Long Island.
Baby Dave, you're going down. I don't know what you're thinking right there, but whether it's on the racetrack or on the mic, I'm going to own you. See you on the course.
Go. Glenn Houseman, you have no idea what you're up against. I've been driving through the city, through North Jersey, through Westchester my whole life. You got nothing on this track. Our race, not only did Derby Day Dave destroy Glenn Houseman, I have the top score of the day, and everybody, I beat everybody in this place at this point. Glenn, what happened?
Hey, listen, I don't know about it, but I should worry about you because we're going to act slow next.
All right, so there you have it. All right, Dave, don't be too much of a show off. Not only that,
not too much of a show off. Wait till I show off this beautiful thing. I wasn't kidding, ladies and gentlemen. Not only did I beat Glenn Houseman handily, I beat everybody in that place. So right now, what you are looking at is the top 10 scores of the day. Who's up there on top, guys? Who's number one? Who's got the gold?
Emac, Jill. Devin?
So literally, I am the best driver in Showboat history, as proven by right here.
Oh, look at my buddies Claudia and Steve are number 9 and 10. That's pretty good.
Look at that! I didn't even realize that.
And Susie G, number 7, is actually a Fish Song Susie Greenberg. Somebody was being cutesy over there, which I think is pretty funny.
So you're saying that we weren't the only people going to the fish show staying at Showboat?
Yeah, sounds about right. Wow. So to be fair, Bruce, you with this go-kart race, I edited that video. I know it's not very good editing. I put it together very quickly this morning. It's a quick video, yeah. But honestly, it was not nearly as close as anything. Like I was pulling out of the thing, trying to figure out how this is going to work, and I thought we were going to line up and then go.
We did line up.
We lined up, and then nobody even said go. You just went, and you just took off. And then before you knew it, it was like half a lap around me. I'm like, this is going to make for some great video footage.
Oh, you couldn't hear me? Because we counted down. We went 3, 2.
I heard nothing. I just saw you take off. The next thing I knew, you're halfway around the track, and I haven't gone anywhere.
Is that the excuse we're going to go with?
Yes. And I'm like, we're not going to get any good footage here because he's halfway around the track. But fortunately, he lapped me. So all that footage you saw of us neck and neck, he was actually a lap ahead of me. But I didn't want to make myself look too embarrassingly bad.
It was a lot of fun. Honestly, that's a good job, Larry, because I already had that up there. But it's okay. You're delayed like you're driving. It's fine. But the go-karts, I don't the video is actually in the short time that Glenn had to put together, which is basically this morning, because I sent him the videos this morning. So good job to you, Glenn.
Hey, thanks. I spent about 45 minutes on it. If we had shot a little bit better, it would have been a little bit better.
Well, to be fair, we also had we had my wife and a couple of your friends filming it, so it wasn't exactly like we had the the camera. But point being is, the video there doesn't do it justice. Those go-karts are fun. And they're fast. Because you load on the ground, they're quick. So it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of turns. Yeah. It's a nice.
Did you spin out?
I did not, because I know how to drive.
They actually have these levers on it, so you could do the drifting on there.
They have like paddles. They have like paddle shifters behind the steering wheel, and as you're turning, you can drift into the turn.
Yeah, it's
Nice.
it was pretty cool, but it was so many turns on that thing. I did it that one time. I was so sick in the stomach that I was gonna race against all of my buddies too. We were going out as a private tour. It's like the 6 of us or something, and I'm like, yeah, no, I gotta step back.
And wait, who won that race too? Who started in last? Who got put in the back of the track and run that race too?
Did you?
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
Wow.
It was me and Core were the final lap. Me and Core were down to it, and I ended up nudging them out.
Very good. Now, Glenn, someone of your advanced age, did
Yeah.
you get out of the go-kart on all fours and stand up, or did you actually?
No. I had the pit crew come over and lift me up as if I was an Egyptian king.
Inside the cart.
Well, now that Glenn told me he didn't hear the countdown of 3, 2, 1, go, I think we get a rematch.
That sounds like a good idea. Next summer, because they're going to be opening up the America's second largest water park at a hotel. I think that maybe we could do some slide races too. Bruce,
They
you ever
started
go
building that up.
karting?
I love go-karting. I just went last week, actually.
Did you?
I was
Nice.
Yes, I was taking my my little brother, my brother-in-law. He just got his driver's license, so I was taking him to learn how to drive. So I took him to go-karting first,
That's fun.
and then the next day we went driving. And he almost killed us, so it didn't work.
Let me say, speaking about driver's license, congratulations to my son Ben, who got his official license, passed his road test this week. So
All right.
yay!
All right.
Not bad.
Yeah.
So Craig, what's the for Click 6, Craig? How are you going to set up the go-kart track in some of the ballrooms?
No, actually, what we're going to do is have a bumper car race.
Nice.
Nice.
They made it very clear at this track, no bumping.
Oh, yeah.
They made it very clear.
They will kick your ass out if you do that. They said.
Yeah, they did the same thing. And as soon as we took off, everybody just started bumping each other. Boom, 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 That's Florida driving for you.
In NASCAR, bumping's driving. So, I think you're within your rights there.
I was actually surprised though, because we knew they had the go-kart track going in, right?
Yeah.
And you think it's like regular go-karts, little putt carts, but once you see the helmets come out, it's like, oh, this is going to be quick. So actually, what they told us is they've limited those cars to a max of 25 miles an hour.
And they could go 50 miles an hour.
They can go up to 50. So they didn't want people flying off into the lobby because they're going too fast. But those cars,
Why? Then it'll
can
be
get
like
up
a
to
real
50.
NASCAR race.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can try going through the ground floor of the resort on one of those.
And now imagine taking it right down the boardwalk, Glenn, right on that down towards the fish show.
Yeah, I love that idea.
How's it going, Michelle?
My favorite part is getting I got like 2-inch arms after driving because the go-karts have no power steering. So you're like, I'm about to break my wrist.
That's really rough. Man, that stuff is fun. However, I would love to do that on a course that's got more straightaways and stuff like that. So I don't have to keep doing all the turny turns. Craig, you ever do that stuff?
Yeah, a long time ago. And, actually last year for my grandson's birthday, we went to a place that's got an outdoor go-kart track. So we were able to do some of it then as well.
That's fun.
But yeah.
That's awesome.
A little water park there, a little, miniature golf and the go-karts as well.
That's my next thing. So next year, Glenn, do we have any incentive to have some candy and then go down to Atlantic Mini Golf down the?
There's a miniature golf course at Showboat too, dude.
Yeah, but all right.
I'll
So
totally go.
I love Showboat. I love Showboat.
But their miniature golf course is not what you're talking about.
The mini golf course, listen, how much can you possibly do with a mini golf course indoors? But
right,
in limited space that you have, because you have so much other great stuff happening. But there is a outdoor mini golf place down the boardwalk before you get to Tropicana.
Oh yeah,
that we can go do. Yeah.
Oh yeah, let's do that next
Trumps.
year. Yeah, I would love to. I would love to eat some candy and go do that. That sounds like a whole lot of fun.
All right, down. So that's the next year. That's next year on the agenda.
I love it. Next year we're gonna go down even earlier because we've got to go to the water park and do all of that kind of stuff next year.
They're building it right now. So when we got down there, you saw the first pillars in the ground. So ground is broken. About 4 or 5 of the initial pillars up. So
it's gonna be done in 10 months.
Amazing.
Let's see. Give a good couple North Jersey or South Jersey, winter storms to push back production a little bit.
Hey,
I mean,
your hotel's got a miniature golf, a racetrack, or a swimming park, a swim park as well, or are you just strictly heads in the beds?
Heads and beds over here. I'm in like Iowa, so it's like I think this is a Quality Inn. It's like a 60-room hotel. It's really, really small.
What happened to Florida?
Oh, well, that's where our main base is. Corporate office in Florida. So, but this one, I had to come out here, rush out here real quick. I'm actually in the suite right now. You probably see the jacuzzi tub over here.
Yeah.
You get in there after the show. Maybe you should do it during the show. Let's do a jacuzzi time with Bruce.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right.
So Michelle is saying, hey, love the backdrop, Glenn. Where is that? Hawaii? Honestly, I do not remember. I put it up for a show. I liked it, and I've since forgotten where it's from.
Well, it could only be East Coast or West Coast. It's not like any East Coast beach or ocean view that I know. So
It's probably Mexico.
Oh, it could be the Gulf of Mexico. Okay, there's an East Coast one. Can I tell you guys a funny story? I think I may have even told you this before. So, great American education here. So we a while back we were going on a cruise.
Yeah, we've seen your spelling.
That's why I have spell check. All right, technology protects me.
I would suggest using it more often. But anyway, go on.
So
where's
we're on a cruise. Oh, I got to talk to Durain about my gambling. So my gambling championship as well. But either way, so we're on a cruise out of Bayonne, the new Bayonne cruise terminal. They hadn't even had the new ports in yet. Like, it was literally just like a dock and some gangways.
Okay.
Mike said he thought the backdrop was Iowa.
You can tell from the vaulted ceilings over here is a weird color. It's like a maple oak color or something.
So we're at dinner. We're in the cruise over to Bermuda out of Bayonne, right? So it's pretty straightforward, right across the ocean. Who here knows which ocean we were in?
From
Bayonne, from Bayonne to Bermuda. Okay,
the Atlantic Ocean.
Just making sure.
Although I did have a job in college where I worked with some people, and they thought that this ocean was the Pacific Ocean.
I've heard that before, actually.
Yeah.
So we're in the middle of the Atlantic, and we're at dinner, and one of my wife's friends I don't know what was going on in her mind, but she was like, "Yeah, we're actually out of college at this point. It's so beautiful and peaceful. Where are we going? We're in the Pacific Ocean, right? It must be so nice." I'm like, so you know who I am. Immediately went with that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yes, we are absolutely in the Pacific Ocean. We left Bayonne, cut down the turnpike, through Virginia, out right through Iowa, into the San Diego harbor, and right out the harbor into the Pacific Ocean. That we did it all last night. Did you not notice that?
Iowa, California, they're right there.
Right to the Pacific out of Bayonne. It's exactly what we did.
You just rode the current.
Just rode the current right through the Panama Canal. So, hey, Bruce, Michelle wants to know, hey, what's the drink of the night? We just started drinking before you got here a few minutes late because you're on location somewhere. But what are you drinking tonight?
Coronas. You gotta have the Coronas, baby.
All right. So I guess beer is the drink of the day.
You know it.
Awesome. Dave is drinking filtered water, but it's
I'm
special.
very bougie. I'm very bougie.
It's special filtered water.
Listen, guys. You cannot be as good as I am at go-kart racing and drink regular old water.
No. I hear ISG America's president Ellie Malouf does the filtering specifically for your hotel as well. That's how special it is.
I've seen Keith stop by too to make sure.
For those of you watching, that's a Keith Barjoke, who's the CEO of the Global Company. So, Bruce, what are you doing over at the Quality Inn exactly?
We just had some staffing issues, so I'm coming over here trying to get that back on board and just getting ready for the next inspection. And of course, we got another renovations coming. It's like everybody's just getting smacked left and right with pips. Like every time you turn around, you just get a pip smack right in your face. Here, do this. Here's another.
Well, to be fair,
trip.
Choice Hotels just spent $675 million acquiring Radisson. They got to get a few of those. They got to get a few of those bucks.
There you go. Yeah.
They may get it all from me, especially this property.
We joke, but pips are important. We want to keep the customers happy. And Craig and I were thinking this week, Bruce, you know, you're general manager. Dave claims to be a general manager. So, you know, we've got some questions that we want to ask you guys about being general managers and stuff like that, and see how that goes. So,
and before you start, though, you know, some of these questions are really going to work out nicely because Bruce is in a suite with a jacuzzi tub.
This has got to be good.
I don't know about that. It's probably going to suck, but
It'll
you know,
okay.
yeah, we try to keep we try to keep
a low
this
bar.
Yeah, we try to keep a very low bar. So the first question we have for you, and I'm sorry I didn't have time to put together a special graphic.
Where's the graphic? I don't just because it's
I forgot about doing a graphic. I was so caught up doing the go-kart race video, and you know, I was super proud of myself. Too busy patting myself on the back to get this other one done. But we can do. Let's do this instead. All right, so it kind of fits the thing. So Bruce Jordan, first question goes to you. What is the strangest thing that you ever saw that was left behind by a guest in one of your hotels?
A bathtub filled with chocolate sauce.
What?
Yeah. Filled with chocolate sauce. I guess somebody had like some weird fantasy or something like that, and they just filled up the bathtub.
So I wonder if, I'm not even kidding, I wonder if it was spiked, because I've seen where, you know, maybe once upon a time when you could underage, you know, when I was underage drinking about, that people have filled up bathtubs with ice and made like jungle juice, or they've made up you know, obviously put beers in there. It's not something I really ever drank out of, but I've seen it done.
Done, and pray tell, there's got to be a story there.
Right. All right, so Michelle's saying Modelo or Blue Moon. Funny, I'm drinking a Blue Moon right now, but all last weekend during the shows, I drank tons of Modelos.
So I didn't even know Glenn really drank beer like that, but he had He had multiple tall boys of beer each night of the show.
Yeah, I don't drink beer like that except at shows.
Yeah, he can rock. He can rock.
I'm sorry, Daniel. I'm assuming this is Daniel. Again, Facebook user Daniel. We got to figure out what's going on with your Facebook name.
It's everybody. Yeah, I don't know.
Daniel has the alligator in the bathtubs. I need to know a little more about that story.
Yeah, we got to hear more about the alligator in the bathtub.
Type it in, Daniel.
Yeah, that's a little strange. Yeah. Dave, what about you?
Are we going with funny or sad? Because I've found plenty of needles in rooms, but
it's not.
Yeah.
So I've found one time.
Of course, he found a bunch of needles in a room. He didn't realize it was after a crocheting convention. But you know, what are you gonna do?
It was
yes, they were still doing heroin, but they were crocheting at the same time.
It was a box for. It was a box for a. I don't know how to explain it, but it was.
I would ask you to spell it out, but I don't think
it was a plastic vagina.
Wow.
So the vagina was gone, thankfully, but the plastic box was still there.
I thought he was going to say a B-box.
The box was still there.
Well, listen, you got to take that stuff home with you. You don't want to leave something.
I'm sure it was very expensive. It looked very intricate, so I'm sure it was very expensive.
Did you claim it after the 30 days?
The box? No, I did not claim the box.
He did bring home a 6-pack of dildos, though.
Hey, Bruce,
that was a funny day.
Put an alligator in one of your tubs in one of your hotels in Florida?
You know what? Not yet, but I heard those types of stories. There was actually a time where I had to change at one of the properties I was managing. I had to change all the light bulbs to like the LED twirly ones because they kept taking the bulbs and turn them into like crack pipes. So yeah, like, so I'm like, I'm just gonna change all these light bulbs and just get the swirly ones and just call it a day.
That's crazy. That is insane.
That's insane. But Daniel's addition to the story of the alligator is even more insane. The housekeeper had an unusual allergic reaction to the alligator feces and sued the hotel.
Wow.
So all right, so let's break this story down for a second, guys. Give me 1 second to kind of recap what we're talking about. So first, the housekeeper goes into the room, finds an alligator in the bathtub, clearly freaks out, I'm sure, is now cleaning up. I'm assuming the alligator was left. It's cleaning up and has an allergic reaction. I hope the poor lady was okay. But wow, that's a story. That is a story.
That's the type of thing that you're supposed to tell when you get the job interview. You know, hey, I'm allergic to alligator feces. You know,
I'm gonna start asking that on all of my.
Did Dave have to ask someone what the vagina was? Yes, because it was invented before 1987.
Hey, make sure you get that through with HR first. You know.
Oh man.
God, I thought Bruce because.
I think the hotel won that lawsuit because we do ask, do you have any medical issues that will prevent you from doing your job? So if she didn't list it or when she had the chance, it's on her.
Yeah.
But how?
So I'm curious as to what the result of that was, because it's not something that I would suspect that you know ahead of time. Although in my family, it is tradition to smear the youngest child in the household with alligator feces for their first birthday. But other than that,
you did a both.
it was just the youngest one. So Jake got away with it because he was 2 minutes older.
So I haven't found that exact story, but I have found several hotels that have chronic medical problems on exposure to bird feces, monkey dander, and other alleged hazards from exotic guests. This is a hotel in Miami. $1 million for falling off defective stool. Okay, that's a stool. Guest staying at a hotel says got a fecal surprise when taking a shower on vacation, then slipped and fell. Interestingly enough, all three of these stories are in Miami.
Well,
of course they're in Florida.
Say it started in Florida.
Of course they're in Florida.
You always know it's a good story when it starts with a Florida man, right?
My man Haroon says he remembers that. So Haroon was actually my old director of finance. And don't let that picture bamboozle you. Don't let that picture bamboozle you, folks. He looks nothing like that today. Daniel's story also involves Miami.
Yeah. I heard the monkey and the alligator were dating, and they were in it for. They were trying to scam the hotels for some free rooms.
maybe the housekeeper was part of it as well.
All right.
What's next?
So the next question, Bruce, tell us the story about the first time you ever had to kick a guest out of a hotel.
Oh yeah, I'll never forget this one. You know, couples argue, couples fight. You know, that's normal, you know. But the couple, they were like fighting like in the middle of the lobby. I'm like, you gotta go. You gotta go. I'm sorry. First we had to break up the fight. I had to break up the fight. Then I had to call the police and get him out of there. You know, I actually had one dude. There was this one dude. He was about to be evicted. You know, Florida law is a little crazy down here. Like they can stay one night and you have to evict them. And he took a hammer and said, "Stay away from my door. I'm going to hit you with this hammer." I'm like, if you hit me with that hammer, Thor, you're going to see Valhalla today. So, there is no way I'm going to let you hit me with a hammer.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So Mike is saying he was comped to one room once in Reno, and there was an older couple asleep in there. What a nice bonus they gave you.
Mike, you're part of the amenity fee.
Yeah.
Did he have his bug spray? His dead bug spray with him?
Yeah.
Probably.
I don't know, maybe. Possibly.
Hey, Dave, have you had to kick anyone out yet?
Well, if there's plenty of people out. I would say my most memorable one was one of my extended stay properties, we had a lady come in. Actually, two at this hotel. More disgusting than funny, but the first one was a lady who I don't know what was wrong with her, but she was in an ADA room, but I guess she just chose not to use the toilet, so she would just pee on the carpet.
Oh God!
So literally, that team had to go in there with like a hazmat suit, like to go and try to clean it. We kicked her out. We had to redo the entire room, but you would open that door and the entire hall would smell like stale urine. And then the second one, same hotel, we had this older couple. I don't know what the situation was, but if they lost their home or something, but they were staying with us and their kids were in the area. And the guy, who only spoke Italian, by the way, go Italians.
Hey, did the orange guys manly?
He was spitting blood on the wall.
What?
Like, I don't understand what was happening, but he was spitting blood on the wall, and the housekeepers obviously and we kicked him out. So yeah, that's two of my stories.
Well, that's really
the oxygen's been
Bruce, you gotta come with some better stories, man. I'm kicking your ass over here.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, you sure are.
I'm not even talking about the guy who was trying to break into a room in his underwear yet. I'm not even talking about the girl who came to the front desk naked yet.
Okay,
I have way more.
Wait a minute.
Why did Why did this woman come down to the front desk naked?
So do you want to talk about the crackhead who was naked, or do you want to talk about the Dolly Parton alcoholic who was naked? Which one do you want to talk about?
I want to. Oh wow. Yeah, I don't know. They both sound so. That sounds so much fun.
All right. So story A. I was working at a airport property. I won't mention which one, but Bruce used to live kind of
Kennedy.
No. Hence why North Jersey I won. But oh, hold on. Daniel's got a quick story. He was on the way to Showa Hotel, and they told him to turn around because Hector Macho Camacho was beating up his girlfriend. I said, either have to story or sale.
That was a WWE wrestler, right?
I have no idea what that is, actually.
No, maybe he's a boxer. He's a boxer.
Boxer. I arrived as they were loading him into the police car. I had a story and a sale. Oh, nice job, Daniel. Way to take that out. I actually have a nice, funny story about a fire alarm while the sale was happening, but neither here nor there right now. So I walk out of the back office to the front desk, and I see probably a lady about my age. I was about 24, 25, 26 at the time, wearing a one-piece bathing suit at the front desk. So this is a more upscale hotel. So it was awkward, but it was summer. So okay, maybe she came from the pool. I don't know.
Right.
We didn't have a pool on property. So I'm like, maybe she came from an outside pool.
We didn't have one on property. I like that.
So
great deduction, David.
So then I walk over there and I'm trying to see what's going on. And I hear her basically tell my front desk agent, he tells her the rate for the night. And she's like, I don't have that money, but I can work for it.
Oh my.
And it was at this moment that I noticed her one-piece bathing suit was see-through. And she was not wearing anything underneath.
So how many free room nights did you give her, Dave?
Oh, she got the entire year for free. What do you mean? She was in the room at Showboat next to us. So
oh my God. Remember to send all those emails to David.
So I basically kicked her out, of course. Oh, I also talk about the person who tried to pull the fire alarm at 2 a.m. I have plenty of stories. So, so I kick her out and I say to my, she's like, I'm like, where do you want to go? I want to go back to the airport? Like, where do you want to do? So she's like, I'm taking me to the airport. So I tell my driver I'm going to go to the airport. But I'm going to go ride with him to make sure everything is safe. I don't want him in a bad position. So I didn't want everybody else on that shuttle. I don't want any other guests.
Right.
I say, okay, come on, we're going to take you over now. I don't know what flipped in her mind, but she was like, no, I'm not getting in. Bye. And ran across the parking lot like a little bunny, hopped up a hill, over the hill, down, never saw her again.
Wow. That's hysterical.
My favorite story is when a housekeeper, it was this nice older lady. She was about 92, 93. Mm-hmm. She checks in. She had a long day. She's tired. So she called housekeeping. And housekeeper comes in and, takes out her trash and do her sheets and stuff like that. And she says, baby, I'm too tired to get up. Can you hand me one of those sticks out of the drawer? Housekeeper goes in the drawer and there's like 30 different types of dildos inside the drawer. Because she was like, "You're on your own. I'm out of here," and ran out the room.
Oh my God.
93 years old.
Hey, listen, man, get it while you got it.
Wow.
Terrain, you missed a lot. So you missed it. I am the grand champion of go-kart
Glenn in
racing.
Philly. No, he is in Long Island.
You missed me being the top Derby Day Dave of
Yeah.
all the scores of the day. You missed that Glenn is not in Philly, but he is about to be in Philly because he has to go to Philly soon. So congrats to you, Glenn.
Yeah, thank you very much.
You missed that I won $200 gambling.
We never talked about that.
We didn't talk about that, but I'm just throwing it out there because I was really waiting for Durain to join us to talk about that.
Yeah, well, good.
What else did we miss? Oh, we missed that we're going mini golfing while eating candy next year on the boardwalk. Durain's in Philly next week. Durain, go now. You'll meet
like
Glenn
quick
there.
24 hours. In and out.
That's about it. Did I catch us up? Oh, we're talking about crazy hotel stories.
We didn't talk about the incredible sub my friends and I had on Sunday night,
White House
or
sauce.
the most amazing funnel cakes I had on Friday and Saturday
And the
night.
Philly cheesesteak place
Dude.
that you found.
Dude, seriously. I don't know if it was the fact that it was post-fish show, but
No, it was good.
goddamn
was really good.
cheesesteak was freaking amazing. And then I went to the other booth and had a funnel cake. Best dang thing I've had in my entire life.
Glenn
At
was
least
so
it
happy.
felt that way in that moment.
You were so happy. It was, but no, I can
Of
agree
course,
with you.
I ate it so fast I looked like I had a massive Coke problem at the end of it.
He was a kid again.
Is that what it was, or was it the balloons?
No,
But
I'm not a balloon guy.
I've never, by the way, I've
early
never
20s.
seen that before.
No.
So I've never seen that before.
All right, so for those of you out there who have no idea what we're talking about the joys of dental gas nitrous oxide. Post fish shows, there's always people out there selling balloons of nitrous, and everybody inhales them, and they go.
No, but now I learned by looking this up. There's a whole mafia.
Wait. Yes. Hold on. Dre just asked the funniest question of all time. Funnel cake were you buy? Did I just say it was right after the fish show?
Come on, Durain. Durain, you're better than that, Durain. You're better than that.
I mean, come on. I was
Wait.
by midnight.
Get feet off the ground, Durain.
On Friday, we started drinking at 4:30.
Ish.
A little earlier.
Yeah. And then lots of other stuff. Yes, thank you, Chris. At least he knows what we're talking about over here.
So she has yet to figure out what fish is. So that's a great. So let me tell you what fish is from someone who didn't know what fish was until Glenn introduced me to the fish. So it's a band. Apparently, it's called.
Glenn introduced you to fish?
Yeah, I never heard of it before.
And
so
you do.
It's called a jam band. Who knew?
Okay.
Who knew?
And it's basically a band. They play like very like 70s style music. Is that fair to say?
No,
not really. Because you know what? Not really. Because you know what? They play a lot of rock. They play a lot of rock and roll too. They did really, a lot of diversity.
They're all over the place.
But
That's
so they go and they have a huge following. We're talking about tens of thousands. I think Steve said last year there's 75,000 people that came to the show.
Yeah.
Wow.
This year I think it was like 40 or 50,000.
Yeah.
So we're talking about tens of thousands of people coming together, getting high together.
modern day Grateful Dead.
Yeah, for the whole weekend.
Yeah, it's like a Grateful Dead. It's like a Grateful Dead band. So and they have this unbelievable light show. And so the way that they had it this year was like 20, 30 different light fixtures with like LEDs.
Let me see if I can find a picture.
Various rigs. So
Listen, he's learning stuff. Rigs, lights,
I did go to school for broadcast journalism. So
that's just writing, David. Look at Glenn's name.
They they would move at different levels and patterns, and some of them were horizontal, some would be straight, and there's different light patterns and rainbow patterns and bright LEDs. And it was just, now if you were on I've never done shrooms in my life, true story, but I'm imagining if you were on shrooms, this thing was a wild time.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
right
There
here,
you go.
the purple one all the way, that's their newest light rig. And you can see all the different components, and they all move in different directions and stuff like that. They keep upgrading all their gear every single year. It's pretty awesome.
And that was the show. Baby Dave.
Right.
The 70s was Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah.
Right.
It's all the same to me.
Prior to 1985, he's got no clue about it.
Yeah.
No.
Mike is saying wasn't Fish the warm-up band when Jerry Garcia passed away. No, they had forged their own thing. They formed in 86. I started going in 91. And they were pretty big by 93, 94 on their own. So Michelle is saying, or some good brownies. No, we prefer not to eat brownies. We prefer gummies on this particular. I'm
not a big smoker / THC guy, so I was kind of out of the activities.
Yeah, but Durain, just so you understand,
but
so
I wouldn't have minded some.
They played 3 nights, and they did 2 sets each night. And each set's an hour and a half to an hour and 45 minutes. And then they do not repeat any songs during the entire run. So no matter how many shows there are in a run, they won't repeat songs. If it's 2 shows, 3 shows, 4 shows, whatever it is. In the summer of 2017, they played Madison Square Garden for 13 nights over 2.5 week period. They never repeated a song once, and they played something like 286 or 7 different pieces. How insane is that?
They I know, as I was trying to get some more information on the band, at the hotel after we were all done for a weekend, I was looking at like the best jam bands of all time to kind of get an idea of who was even a jam band.
Right.
Grateful Dead was number 1 on all the lists I saw, but Fish was number 2 or number 3 on every single one as well. So I mean, again, you're talking about a band who.
Steve Miller was another one.
They're not exactly young. It's not like they're a young band. They've been around for a while, but they're pulling tens of thousands of people.
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Just Fish do their own music. They do their own, but they also do covers that they picked up along the way. They used to do a show every Halloween as they would do a special second set. They do 3 sets on a Halloween show. In the second set, they would do a musical costume. So one year they'd play the White Album. One year they'd play like Talking Heads album. Another year they'd play another big band song. They've done Little Feat. They've done all these different bands, and a few of those songs kind of stick around. When they did the 13 night shows, they themed each night. They called it the Baker's Dozen, and they themed each night after a donut. So they had like strawberry donuts, jam-filled donuts. That obviously was a totally jammy show. On like Chocolate Donut Night, for example, they did a cover. They did for a fun cover. They opened up the song with that song "Chocolate Rain." You all know that from the internet, right?
Chocolate Rain.
Yeah, so they did that sort of stuff.
But I will say this if I can. Sorry, go ahead, Glenn.
Yeah, go ahead, go for it.
No, I was just saying, and I said this to Glenn during the weekend. I've been to a number of different concerts, different music types. You're not going to find a larger group of people that are more civil with each other than this group. Possibly because they're all stoned out of their minds. But you have 50,000 people together on a beach, very tight. It's also very tight to get off the beach once the show ends.
We were speaking to a hotelier during the weekend, and he said we don't even need security. Yeah. We have it, but we don't even need it on the weekend because everybody's just so damn cool and chill.
There's no seats, right? You can't even bring chairs. So you're standing the entire time. It's only one band. They don't have an opening band. They don't have a closing act. It's just literally one of them the entire way through. Yep. During the break, you sit on the beach and people are walking through. It's very tight, so they're walking through. You're stepping on people's stuff.
It's about 45 minutes in between.
There's no fight. There's no fighting. There's no arguing. Everyone's just kind of happy. So it really is a cool group to be around.
Yep.
And this is why they don't want you to do drugs, because then you'll actually just relax.
Yeah. Hey, listen, they don't even care about the drug thing at all in Atlantic City. It was insane. A few cops are around this year, but last year we didn't see a cop the entire time, which was
marijuana is legal in Jersey now. So
yes,
yeah,
right. Really same thing in New York. So it's really strange. And reflexively, Bruce, like I still think it's like 1995 and I'm all nervous that I'm going to get in trouble, even though, now I'm in my 50s and it's legal. It's so funny that like some of these things are so ingrained into you. But back to the topic at hand.
No, I gotta say this. Listen, I was
Bruce.
in New York like last year, and I was with my daughter, and she just seen all these little trucks around. She was like, "Daddy, I want some ice cream." I'm like, "That is not an ice cream truck."
Those are Glenn's favorite trucks. Those are Glenn's favorite trucks.
No, they are not, because they are lying to you. Never buy something from a truck in New York City. Now, back in the 90s, when I lived in the Upper East Side, Manhattan, I knew this guy named Chicken who would pick me up. He was Jamaican. You give him a ring, and he's like, "Hey, he's Chicken." Then you'd just jump into the car with him, and you'd go around the block, and then you'd be a happy guy.
And then you'd be as fuzzy as you are right now on camera.
Exactly right. I don't know what's been going on with my camera. It's been getting all fuzzy fuzz. But
so Weed World is a store now, by the way.
The other one.
Yes, but it's still because
it's still Fugazi, but
it's still right until the rules are officially in place. All right.
What question do you have, Glenn? We have more questions.
Because we're starting to run low on time. What is your favorite holiday to be working as a GM, and why? Halloween, St. Patrick's Day, or New Year's Eve?
For me, I'm gonna have to say New Year's Eve, because that's where all the action happens. It's like if you just whip out your camera and record, you go viral. Everyone goes viral. After you come back from one of those parties, let me tell you, it's definitely New Year's Eve. It's live. It's live. Yeah.
So tell us something fun that you saw that you're like, damn.
Oh man, listen, on New Year's Eve, I never forget this. Guests are just happy, they're chatty, and this one guest just happened to be a little chatty. I didn't think anything of it because her husband is right next to her. I'm like, all right, cool. And then she goes upstairs. Her husband comes back downstairs, hands me a note. And the note says, listen, my wife likes you. You have my permission to do whatever you want to do. And I'm like, okay, yeah, they had way too much to drink. Yeah.
I never understood being a cuckold. That's a weird thing. That's a really weird thing to be into.
Dave had a really good story that he shared with us last week. And so, Bruce, David had a guest at one of his hotels. And his name was Pat Benatar. Have you ever had any big names? Dave will explain that in a minute.
I gotta hear this story.
Tell us about who he was. Dave.
Very brief rundown again. First of all, I want to say Suzanne said New Year's Eve on Y2K was the best.
And I will say, Suzanne, it was, because I was at a Fish show in the Everglades, and they played from 11:45 p.m. till sunrise. That was a cruise show.
Glenn's going to love, or Durane's going to love this. On Y2K, I was 12, so I was not at a Fish show. But anyway, so a very quick rundown of my Pat Benatar story. Long story short, one of my properties, she was flying out of the hotel that morning, and her ride was late, but I had no idea who she was. And her manager was very nervous about her being talked to, because it was early morning and didn't want to be swamped with autographs. So I said, hey, do you want to bring him outside the back door? Pat him. Made sense. And he was just like, no. They cannot Durain because I am the producer. I control all.
Oh, well, there you go. I just turned off Dave's mic for you.
But I just dropped.
You fucker. Good news is he's still muted. So
he have any control. Okay.
What kind of riot was there in Boston? That's insane. Suzanne is saying she worked the Y2K, and there was a riot in Boston for those listening on the audio feed.
They're better than me. It's too cold to fighting in Boston. It's freezing out there.
So, Bruce, I found when I was living on the Upper East Side of Manhattan back in the 1990s that they had a St. Patrick's Day parade, and my apartment at 90th and 3rd was pretty much right at the end of the parade, right? So I saw the condition people were in. Is that what it's like in a hotel on St. Patrick's Day? You got to have like a lot of puke buckets out and stuff.
Oh yeah. It's you have to have help. Like they can't even get out the car. Like you have to help them out. Yeah.
What's the drunkest person you've ever seen in one of your hotels?
Listen, I told this one guy.
Don't use my name.
this guest was so drunk that she said, "I want $1,000 a night room," and I'm like, "Yeah, this is the economy."
Yeah, this is.
Bruce, you gotta listen, Bruce. You gotta have better stories, man. There's no way that's your best drunk story.
Yeah, listen, it's crazy. It's crazy.
You need to come hang with me.
Yeah. New York is a different beast, that's for sure.
All right, so I'll give
Actually,
you two.
for Iowa,
two.
that is off the chart. It's off the hook, baby.
Love you, Cynthia. Cynthia was the best when she was drunk, but that was not my craziest drunk story. I have two crazy drunk stories.
All right.
First one was about noon. This lady was in her room still. We had to get her out. Unfortunately, according to her, somebody passed, but she was in no state to be driving anywhere. So we just need to get her out of that room because we were sold out of that upgraded room type. We just had to move over to a different room. She answered the door, completely wasted, dressed on top, no pants, no underwear on the bottom.
Nice, classy.
Eventually got her out of, convinced her to move after she sobered up a little bit, and then gave me $100 tip.
Nice.
Whoa!
So you got a free show and a tip. That's exciting.
Second story was my Dolly Parton lookalike.
Not on his glad.
Dolly Parton lookalike, and she got cut off at the bar. Her husband kicked her out of the room, said, "I'll buy her a room somewhere else in the hotel. I don't care. Just get her out of here."
Because she was so drunk?
Because she was so drunk. Then she came back downstairs in just a button down. Mind you, she's probably like 70 years old.
Oh my!
And tries to sneak back in the bar. So I go in the bar. I'm like, "You gotta go." Take her back out. She called me every name under the sun in the bar or in the lobby. In front of it was wild.
I just like to say, my mom no longer drinks. Just so you know.
Good to know.
Oh, you get a pay for that one.
I know. Hopefully, I'll still be in the will. I like the drunks having sex, and they don't stop when I go in and ask me to join them.
These are
That's
some
how
good
your hair
questions,
got so
Glenn.
curly.
What else you got, Glenn? Before we're out of time, Glenn, what else you got? Rapid
All
fire.
right, we'll do
fire.
one more. You guys ever found someone tied up or stuck in sex handcuffs and stuff in a room and had to come to their aid?
That's easy. No. Next.
No, I'm not that one yet.
No, you guys are missing out. That's What's the weirdest concierge style request you guys have ever gotten, Bruce?
I'm gonna let Dave go first on this one.
So that way Bruce can make something up. That sounds good.
Well,
here in Iowa, some asked for extra cheese on their pizza.
They wanted some corn. They wanted some corn.
Bigger steaks.
Oh wait, hold on. Suzanne says her night auditor was tied to a chair. How the hell
That sounds like a robbery. That sounds like a robbery.
Yeah, right.
So I had a gentleman come in with a lady and asked me to run to the gift shop. He gave me $100 and go to the gift shop, buy me a pack of condoms, keep the change, just bring it to my room.
Yeah, I had a guess.
I did.
Oh, I thought that she was going to say, "Now put one on."
God, yeah.
She didn't tip you.
Oh my God.
I had an offer for $500 to drive them to the airport.
Right.
Yeah.
That's it.
That was the biggest.
Biggest.
We don't get a lot of crazy concierge
Bruce
requests.
Jordan, we need to come work in an airport style property. So what are we doing now?
Yeah.
All right, what's
I'm
next?
telling you.
Keep it going. Are you out?
What's the strangest F&B request you've ever had?
You know what? I've never really worked in too many F&B properties.
No.
Full F&B properties, so I don't really have a crazy request that I can think of.
I think the strangest F&B request I saw was for a hot dog with ketchup and cheese.
That's a delicacy.
Pilots, Chris is saying pilots used to leave porn mags under the beds for the next pilot. One of my old hotels always laughed at that. extremely considerate, though. I gotta say.
That's the union at work right there.
You would have paid for that one, David.
I don't want a pal union.
Yeah, it reminds me of the Beastie Boys. My mom threw away my best porno mag.
All right, so I'm going to give you guys one last story before we sign off, because this is probably my favorite story. So I'm working at another airport, a different one of the airport properties. All my best stories are at the airport of my extended stay. Yep. Thankfully, where I'm currently at, we're nice and calm here. So make sure you guys come visit. We're safe.
Even though it's Midtown East, New York.
So I get a call from my front desk person. Now, this is a bigger hotel. So we have several departments, security, all this stuff. But I was the front office manager on duty, after everybody left. So everyone kind of, wants to us, obviously. Yeah. So they call me and say, there's somebody on the whatever floor it was, 9th floor, call it, trying to break into a room. Okay. I said, there's security going. Security, no. Yes, they're on the way up. Okay. I go upstairs. Upstairs is so the way this building was a big T. So the elevators fed into like this part of the T towards the butt. And I look down and I see this guy in a wife beater shirt, or I don't know if that's politically correct, but
it's not, but you said it, so it's too late now.
Too late now. Yeah. But an Italian T-shirt. How about that? Is that better?
No.
But
we're totally getting demonetized on YouTube, by the way.
And his tidy whities, and he has his foot on the door going. So I see my security guard walking towards him. I take off sprinting towards him. So as you know, I'm fairly tall, fairly fat. So it's a big guy coming.
We say husky around the house.
Husky, okay, that's politically correct. So I'm charging at this guy. He kind of backs off on
that shirt adds to that.
I say, go the F. See how politically correct. Go the F into the stairwell.
As the guy who was just talking about the box of dildos. Go on.
Go into the stairwell. So he's in the stairwell now in his underwear. He's clearly whacked out of his mind. Drunk, high, both. I don't know. And I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, my room. And I'm like, that's not your room. I don't know where his room actually was. But I'm like, that's not your room. You can't get in.
Right.
So as we're talking to him, it's me, the security guard, him on the cold-ass fire escape stairs in his underwear. So he's actually started to kind of sober up a little bit. So we get a blanket for him because he was cold. At this time, the housekeeper comes to me and says, there's 2 little girls in the room.
Right.
And they're scared to death. And I'm like, of course.
Wow.
So I go back over there to talk to them. I tell security to stay with this guy. It's a 13-year-old and like a 7-year-old. The parents just come upstairs hearing about what happened. I think they're going to freak out at me. They were the most kind and gracious because they were at the bar drinking, leaving the kids in the room.
Yeah, right. They don't want to get in trouble.
So then they're calm, they're cool, they're fine. We go back to talk to the guy, and he's like, they're gonna kill me. They're gonna cut me, they're gonna kill me. I'm like, who's going to hurt you? He's like, they're gonna get me. I was like, bing. Do you need police assistance? Yes, I do. Bam. Call the cops. Cops come. Cops tell the guy, you need to go back to your room. Where's your room? He's like, it's room whatever. I'm like, okay, let me find out. I call down, we get his ID, call down, that is his actual room. Okay, cool. Cops, okay, let's go to your room. He's like, no, they're going to get me. Like, sir, you're going to go back to your room right now. No, I'm not going to go, and you can't make me. Sir, go back to your room now. No. Okay, grab him. So now, this is, and mind you, the airport that I'm at, the surrounding cities are not very great. So the cops here, they're tough. They're good cops. They're seasoned cops. It's called that.
Yeah.
So now they're one cop with one hand, the other cop with the other hand, dragging this man down the hallway in his underwear. He's screaming, "They're gonna kill me! Abuse! Help!" So now every door down the line is opening up.
God.
Because again, we're on a T, right? So we're on a T. So we're here at the bottom part of the T. His room is
good use of the nose.
Up this hallway, and then all the way at the end of this hallway. So we had to go as far as humanly possible, dragging this guy down the hall. So I'm like, I'm sorry, it's fine, police, all good. We get to his room. We key. I'm not even close to being done yet.
Oh God.
We open his door. I key his door open. The cops shove him inside, close the door. Okay. Now they're inside there with him. Across the hall opens
You're gonna arrest me next.
across the door opens this person who was complaining all day about there being a glass in the hallway still from in room 9, just a glass.
Right.
I want it comped. How could I believe this place is clean? Finally got rid of her. She's in the room across the hall from this psycho. Of
Right.
course. Fine. You know what? You get your comp room now. I don't got time for you. Goodbye. Guy next door opens the door and says, "Oh, everything okay now?" I'm like, yeah. The cops are with him. We're all fine. He's like, "Okay, cool. Like, are you okay?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm the one that called down." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "I opened the door. He was pissing on my door."
Oh God.
So now I look down. There's a water stain coming down his front door. There's a puddle in front of his door. I look at the housekeeping person who was the housekeeping manager that was there now as well, and she just was like,
Yeah.
So I got to clock out now. See ya.
So then the cops take him out, and we go. They put pants on him. They take him out. They arrest him. Obviously, we go down the service elevator, take him out. For some reason, I don't even know why. I'm still there at 2 a.m. Here he comes walking back in like nothing ever happened.
Stop playing.
Sobered up, got let out, walked in like nothing ever happened.
Oh my God.
Didn't
Can I
stop at the
get room
desk.
service?
Didn't stay high.
I
just
know,
walked
yeah.
in like. Beep, 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 beep. I'm like, oh my God.
That's
I
really sad.
got the story. Okay, so I'm working for a hotel group, and I'm their executive VP for development. We repositioned a hotel in the greater Phoenix market. Okay, it was a full service property. Spent tens of millions of dollars repositioning this thing almost 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And the new brand was real happy with it. Every construction issue you can think of, including the GC having a meltdown on the property and having to be locked up, happened.
Oh.
So we've been open for about 2 months. We had the soft opening. Now we're doing the grand opening. We got the new brand there. We've got the press there. We've got everybody else there. So I check in. I get in one of the elevators, go up to my room, and I see a couple. They're getting into the elevator that's next to me. The doors don't close, and the elevator drops about 1.5 feet.
Oh.
She is ready to freak out. So I've got my suitcase jammed in between the two doors because I don't want them to close. I can't pull them open. There's no grab bar with the fire extinguishing equipment that I can put in there to keep them open.
Yeah.
So I'm holding my suitcase in there. I'm calling the president of the company that I work for. I get the fucking engineer up here right goddamn now. I've got an elevator dropping. I got a couple in it. I went, don't worry, you're going to be fine. And we're going to copy your entire stay plus meals. And we did.
Wow, that's a good one, Craig. That's a scary one. What about that? What was it?
The opening party could not be a worse time to have something go wrong like that.
What was the story out in Vegas? Was the Videra?
I don't
that
know.
They developed the brand, this beautiful hotel, and they didn't account for the sun and glass windows. And
that was Vidara.
Vidara, yeah.
And that was the death ray.
Death ray. The death ray.
So the hotel is curved, and the way that it worked was the sun would hit at a certain time of day and bounce off of it and create like this effect that was like 1,000 degrees or something like that, and melting stuff like a laser at the pool. Yeah.
At the pool, yeah. It was burning people at the pool. It was melting their chairs and their equipment. It was heating up the water too high. Like it was the Vidara death ray, yeah.
Yeah, one time I was at a hotel in LA, and I had a black room key, and I left it on my chair. I came back, and the whole thing was like half melted and warped and dented and stuff like that.
So I have a last question before we go for that, because we're running overtime here. It's a great show. Craig, you're in development, right? You've done billions of dollars in deals in your life. You're the developer of a property. You're the owner of a property. You're the whatever you want to call it, REIT, whoever owns that property. What do you do? Who do you call? How do you have that conversation when your brand new Vegas property has such a design flaw that nobody seemed to account for as the sun, that is now creating an impossible predicament for your pool?
Well, to be fair, Vegas doesn't have very many sunny days, so they're not used to.
So what do you do?
oh my God, that's a phone call nobody wants to make.
Yeah.
And I was working on a deal in Los Angeles where they put in a driving range, okay, and it was next door, or it abutted a school for the blind, and the city said you had to have fences up so high, and everybody was clearing the fence, and the school was getting pelted with golf balls. And remember, this is a school for the blind in the city of Los Angeles. Okay, not good.
Not good.
So I'm working at development deal. We've got all of our permits. Everything's good. And then I'm getting a call from the city going, hey, you guys have to shut down right now. And, and I'm calling the owners going, hey, we're done, and the city made us put a chain link roof over the entire thing to solve that problem. But the Disney Performing Arts Center in downtown Los Angeles, same thing. It's that Geary style architecture. Well, it is Geary architecture, and all the sun was bouncing back into all the condos and offices around it, just driving the temperature up over to 100 degrees on everything. So they had to figure out something with that. Yeah, those are horrible phone calls to be involved with because nobody's happy. Absolutely.
Wow.
I feel like the Vidara, I could be wrong, they put like a canopy above.
I think they did something. No, they did something with the structure, with the windows or something like that to fix it.
Yeah, you've got to get that film on it that's going to break up that sun reflection or absorb it. And now, if you're absorbing it, you are jacking up the heat within your own building. So it's a better thing to put a film on it where you can break up that sun reflection off of it. So it's, and you're talking millions of dollars that nobody accounted for. And it's like, okay, can I raise my rate enough to get this covered over the next year? I don't think so.
So at that point, do you have to go back to a lender and say, hey, oops, we need another $5 million?
Yeah.
As the lender, like, well, already kind of pot committed, or what does that?
Well, it depends on your lender, and if you've got a relationship lender that you've worked with for a lot of years, they'll find a way of doing some cross collateralization and working that out. Now, it could already be you're going to have to tap the CapEx account that they're already holding, and if you've still got your construction loan on it, and you haven't used up all of your draws, and there's some money there. That could be part of it as well, but money's coming out of somebody's pocket and immediately.
Right. Listen, Chris is off for happy hour, so I feel we should be too. I hope you guys have had a good happy hour. But before we go, we got to do this. That's right. It's the Plug-a-Palooza. Bruce Jordan, it's your turn to be time to be shameless. Plug away.
You know who it is. It's the Michael Jordan Hotels, Bruce Jordan. You know what to do. You can catch me on Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, Hotel Guest Management. And as usual, always here to make the revenues rise up once again.
Nice. Bruce, what's the most points you've ever scored in a game?
I actually scored 4 half-court shots in a row.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm
4
impressed.
half-court shots in a row.
The
whole stadium just start jumping up and clapping like they never seen that before.
Oh, dang. So, that's pretty amazing. Champion Day Dave.
I don't even know what I want to promote today. Have a great day, everybody. Have everybody a great weekend. Have a great weekend.
This would have been you should have promoted you kicking my ass. You screwed that up.
I feel like I did that enough already.
Yeah, I mean, if it was me.
Besides, now you threw out the monkey wrench that you didn't hear the countdown. So now it's all kind of broken up. Like now I have to go back and do it again, and I have to kick your ass again.
What we need is to have someone at the front line that does that with the flag, like in Greece. Oh, sorry, you don't know what that is. It was from 1978. Sorry.
I thought you were talking about like a grease stain, on the track.
Yeah, exactly. And let's all take a moment of silence for Olivia Newton-John. Oh. That's you got to be effing.
I'm not even kidding. I mean, I'm assuming she passed, so I'm sorry. Rest in peace, but I really don't know what that is. Bruce, do you know what that is? You're kind of my age, right?
This is magic.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I
But it's
got
obvious
I
Bruce
a
has an
old
idea
soul.
of like things.
Yeah. Like I know who Earth, Wind, and Fire is.
I know who that is too.
Yes.
Olivia Newton-John,
Ocean.
singer-songwriter,
There you go.
passed
Craig.
away August 8th.
Yeah.
Well,
Craig,
David's going to bring up some pictures for me. So, do you have those pictures, David?
Oh, fuck. On my computer that I just closed. Sorry.
Okay. Well, I guess not.
maybe we'll do that next week.
Yeah.
No, wait, no. We can listen, you guys. You don't work in hotels. You
But
don't work in production if you don't know how to improvise.
Dude, we're already at 10 minutes over.
You're fine.
There we
we'll
go.
do it
All right.
next week. Don't worry about it.
It's right there.
Okay. So, our friends over at Raw Botanics have sent me some products, and I got to tell you, I've had insomnia for years, and that has helped me. It's a great product. And if you are looking to co-brand something to sell in your hotel, these are great guys to talk to.
So real quick, just so you guys know, this is a soothing pillow mist CBD oil spray, lavender and eucalyptus. So, obviously getting hotel sleep is super important. That's the number one thing you want to do.
Now,
Hotel is
everybody knows
sleep.
I got no sleep last week because Higgins wasn't here, and I had to try and find my washer and dryer for the first time in years, and do all the stuff around the house. But click 6, Arch 1st and 2nd, and guess what? We're putting Champion Dave on a panel. Little reveal: we're going to have a labor panel at the conference. So first time we're talking about that.
Wow.
You don't know what panel Glenn's hosting yet, but we'll be talking about
Big mystery. And I'd like to plug some personal appearances I've been doing. If you want to watch me move my son Ben into college at Brandeis, you can do that on August 21st. And then I'll be in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, moving in Jake on August 24th. So come by, see me do some physical labor. Feel free to point and laugh. So I'll be doing that. Plus, got some speaking gigs in between those two move-in events for Honeywell. I'll be down at the My Place event doing a panel there, hosting for them, doing some live shows. September, I'll be doing a general session for the lodging conference. I'll also be helping open the Everhome Suites from Choice Hotels somewhere in Corona, California. And then I've got a bunch of speaking gigs coming up in October and November, which we'll talk about then. Guys, it was great doing this show with you.
And you're staying here when you're out in California, correct?
No, I'm going to be staying at the hotel, but maybe we'll be able to do a Friday night audit from that new hotel. I'm still working on figuring that pivot.
All right.
All right, everybody. Thanks for being here. We'll see you right back next year on the one, the only, the audit.
Got to get some fresh blood in there, Durain. Got to get the young
you know.
professionals